the young person in his 20s says, my God, why isn't his wife in that video with him? And I said, because he's an entertainer, because that's what he does.
Well, Dr. V, it's such a pleasure to have you. You look fantastic as always.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Same to you.
Thank you. Us here at Us Weekly, we are talking about celebrity dating culture all day, every day. If it didn't exist, we'd be out of business. So we need
Me too.
We need your expertise on everything celebrity dating culture. Now, we're curious as to what's going on with Raya. I think us normal folks are very interested in this sort of celebrity dating app. Names like Ben Affleck, Matthew Perry, they use the app. Why do you think that celebrities that are that high profile go on and use a dating app like Raya?
For the same reason your regular person would be doing the same thing, for the same exact reason. I mean, it's all about convenience, low effort. Same as the regular Joe without big names and fat bank accounts. Swiping is much easier than any form of mating in the wild, aka the real world, right? But even with waiting lists and precautions, security measures, people are people. They're going to air your dirty laundry and filthy messages that you thought were private.
Do you recommend the average Joe trying to sign up for Raya? I think everyone probably has a secret desire to get on there to see who they might match up with. But I think you need to sort of go on with good intentions, right?
Look, everyone's going on these dating apps with the same intention. It's about connection. However weak or strong you want that connection to be. Some people are going on for sex. Some people are going on for a life partner. But at the end of the day, everyone's going on these dating apps for the same reason. They're trying to connect with somebody. So in that regard, yes, I think that the everyday person should get on Raya.
Do you recommend for the celebrities out there to go on other dating apps like Tinder, like Hinge, like Grindr? I recently spoke to Gus Kenworthy about his friendship with Colton Underwood, who, as we all know, just came out of the closet. Gus told me that Colton is on the apps. So, you know, he's likely on some of those gay dating apps. Do you recommend celebrities come over into our court and do the Tinders of the world?
Oh my God, absolutely. Like, it depends on the kind of connection you want. And then I also want to point out that celebrity isn't what it used to be. It isn't.
Right.
Your personal life and your celebrity are now one.
Well, let me ask you, because this was going to be my follow-up anyway. I'm curious, speak on that a little bit more, because the world has changed so much in the last 10, 20, 30 years. How is celebrity dating life different than it was back in the day?
Okay, let me just back up for a second.
Yeah.
I recently had a younger person was watching, and I say younger because I'm almost 50, so whatever that means for you, watching the Justin Bieber video.
Okay.
And there was a young woman in the video with him. And the young person in his 20s says, my God, why isn't his wife in that video with him? And I said, because he's an entertainer, because that's what he does. So for the younger generation, the generation below me, that's not that far away. That's like 15 years, a 15-year difference or so, maybe a 20-year difference. There's this idea that a celebrity is supposed to show you all of their life, to the point where there's no separation between their performance in a video and their life. I find that fascinating. And that is the difference. This idea that celebrities should have no privacy and that they don't have a private life, and that social media has made us believe that we are entitled to everyone's life.
Right.
to everyone's private life, to everything they put out there and everything they don't.
Yes, that's such a good point. I was just going to ask if you attribute that to social media.
Yeah.
Do you think how can we separate that now? You know, for the people of the younger generation, we sort of have to realize that someone like Justin Bieber can do his art and do a music video with someone that is not Hailey, even though people think they're entitled to know all the details and the inner workings of the likes of Justin and Hailey Bieber.
I mean, that's a really great question, because you're asking a very, you're asking the inner workings of society and how we got to this place. So, Joe, it would be about, rewinding that. It would be about more celebrities or more people in the spotlight, or even not, the everyday person, turning off their social media, turning it off, just getting off of it. And I know that to some people, to hear that is both a relief and yet super scary, because so much of their quote unquote brand is on social media. So, I mean, it's like this working machine and a perfect storm in a way, right? For no one to have any privacy, but at the same time, for people to have brands and be making money, to be able to share with family and friends. I mean, the reason for social media runs the gamut. And yet our privacy is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, to where people really do feel entitled to like who you're that week. Like, right. People feel that way.
Right. Do you think in that regard that celebrity dating culture has gotten easier or harder for the
It's such a great question, Joe. And I think what's happening is we're seeing more of this molding, this melding of celebrity versus personal life. Okay, so if I'm going to date so-and-so, I now have no privacy. If I'm going to be out there doing this, I have to make a mental note to myself that I'm not going to have any privacy. And I'm not saying that that's the right way to go, but that's the trend that I'm seeing, that right. Celebrities are kind of giving up this very precious commodity, which is our privacy.
Right. The word celebrity, I feel like, has evolved over the years because of social media. We have influencers. We have all different types of people that could fall under the term celebrity.
We're all celebrities, Joe.
We really are. We're putting our lives out there on social media. We're sharing our lives with the world. Everyone is a celebrity in their own right. So right. My question based on that is, let's say we're trying to be out there in the dating world, and we find out that the guy I go on a date with has 500,000 followers and he does all these ads and sponsorships. But I'm uncomfortable sort of putting my personal life out there because he shares everything with the world. What is your advice for someone like me who is trying to hold on to that privacy, but still wants to date someone that I have a connection with, regardless of how successful and public they may be?
Well, it's a conversation. And it's a very, very upfront conversation. How do you value privacy? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a conversation that we all should be having upfront. Right. What does it mean to have a relationship? Do you put your relationships out there? It's really the modern day PDA. Right? Public display of affection. Like, it's really our modern day of that. Like, are you someone who likes to hold hands in front of people and French kiss at the movie theater? Or are you someone who likes to keep it close to the vest? So This is a conversation that you should be having. And conversations like that, if you're in a relationship, should always be evolving. Because, Joe, your attitude might change. You might be like, you know what? I feel a level of trust with this person. I feel like how they display our relationship will be what I have in mind. And I feel good about it now. So Be open to changing that.
Yeah, that's great advice.